Check my email for breaking news. You and I are going to find out together what it is. The Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson have reached agreement on a 5-year, $245 million extension that includes $165 million guaranteed, sources tell ESPN. This is from Adam Schefter. The deal now ties Russell Wilson to Denver for 7 total years and $296 million. This is literally hot off the presses from Adam Schefter. Broncos, Russell Wilson, 5-year, $245 million extension, includes $165 million guaranteed, ties him to the Broncos for 7 years, $296 million. Someone tell me in my ear how old Russell is. He's 32-ish, 33. So one would assume that ties him to Denver now for the rest of his career, is the reason I'm asking the question. He's 33. So there you have it. He'll be 34 during this season. Let me start with Mike Tannenbaum, my general manager. We've been talking a lot about the money and the guarantees that quarterbacks are getting, particularly with Lamar Jackson not getting what he seems to want in Baltimore. What is your reaction to this contract in Denver for Russell and how it plays into the narrative of quarterback deals right now?
Yeah, it sounds like a win-win in terms of the average per year is where Russell Wilson deserves to be. Obviously, we want to see what the details are in terms of how much is guaranteed for in what years. Now, just listening to what you just said, Green, it doesn't sound like it's fully guaranteed. So I would say from a Denver standpoint, we're, again, moving away from the Browns, who, again, gave Deshaun Watson $230 million fully guaranteed. And now if I'm Lamar Jackson, I may have to look at that and say, hey, if Russell Wilson took a partially guaranteed deal, maybe I do too.
All right, let me see. I'm looking to see if there's any further information on Schefter's Twitter feed. No, you know literally everything I know as of right now. I do not see the word guaranteed.
Mike, it's $165 million guaranteed. So we're talking about the guaranteed money because that is important, as Mike alluded to. So $165 million guaranteed per Schefter, right? So we're talking about $49 million per year here for Russell Wilson. He had 2 years left on his current deal. So this signs him up to be a Denver Bronco for the next 7 years. So, going back to this conversation of Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns resetting the market, making it difficult for owners around the league. I can tell you I've had conversations with owners that have been frustrated with it. It looks like the Denver Broncos were able to sort out a way to get this done without having to equalize or at least come up to the way the Cleveland Browns had to do with Deshaun Watson, Mike.
That's right. The numbers are 200. Again, the Deshaun Watson number, which is a significant outlier. And I'm always hesitant to get this deeply into the business element of this because I don't know how much the fans care about it. But I will tell you the reason.
His leadership, he got a new contract. Cliff Kingsbury got extended. Keim got extended. And you are doing the first 6 weeks of this season without DeAndre Hopkins. You bring over Hollywood. We will see if Kyler Murray is taking this next step maturity to be the ultimate leader for the Cardinals.
Diana, who are you watching week 1?
Mike, we have talked about Tua on this show for 6 months straight. Some of it because we know the pressure's on, and they've made some really good changes. They've got some excellent additions there in Miami, and Tua needs to perform. Obviously, with the addition of Tyreek Hill. I am so over talking about Tua. I can't wait to see it.
And he's not the only Alabama quarterback in that game. Mike T, who are you watching?
Mac Jones, same game, same position, same school. We've talked so much also about play calling, and Mac Jones can erase all the noise and go out and play really good football on opening day against a really good Dolphin team on the road in the elements in Miami, and I'm fascinated to watch him go.
They will be in Miami, but New England is where I knew we were going to head next because it has been an offseason with so many questions for the Patriot offense. But Mac Jones sounds like he doesn't have any concerns. Listen.
I think we've ironed out a lot of things, and it's good that they're happening now, and I feel confident in what we're doing. We just got to go out there and do it for 60 minutes.
So, I mean, look, let me start with Mike T on this one because you have been the big believer in Mac Jones. While I've had so many people, both on the air and off in my presence, question what New England might be doing and in Bill we trust and all the rest of that, you remain steadfast. Why?
He played really well last year. He led the team to the playoffs and played well against the Bills in the playoff game. And when you look at what they do well, Greeny, is they can run the ball. They got two really good tight ends. Their receiver core isn't great, but it's solid. Losing Tyron Thornton is concerned because he was the rookie from Baylor that had a lot of speed. But Mac Jones won't make mistakes. He won't turn it over. And they're going to be a hard team to beat. They're not going to be explosive, but they're not going to have self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, and that's fair. They're well coached. And Marcus, I mean, we give Bill Belichick the benefit of the doubt. As well we should. But as far as the roster, I'll just put this out there for what it's worth. When ESPN ranked the top 100 players in the National Football League, do you know how many of them play for the Patriots? 0. Do you know how many teams had 0 players on that list? 5. The others were the Jaguars, the Lions, the Giants, and the Jets. So that's, at least in the eyes of the people on the outside, Marcus, what we think Bill is working with. What are they going to be?
All right, let me get this nipped in the bud because I'm sick of it. I've been watching shows and hearing it. Let's stop acting like Mac Jones' season last year was God gift to football. Let's just pause on that for a second. Yeah, he played well for a rookie. He did some things, but I think anybody that watched tape knows that Mac Jones was highly insulated in an offense that was run dominant, and they didn't ask him to do much. At times, when we saw Mac Jones have to kind of come out of his shell and push the ball downfield and be a passer for a large majority of the game, we saw some mistakes as expected about a rookie. I do think he's going to take a step forward. I do believe that Mac Jones is a good to solid quarterback. But let's not get in this conversation like it's a wildly bet behind this offensive line, and he's not dealing with unknowns of knowing what his offensive coordinator situation is going to be. A second-year quarterback that had a solid season as a rookie, not something to write home about, because I remember having this conversation about a rookie in Cleveland who broke all the damn rookie records, and now he on another team. So let's take a break and figure out what's going to happen with Mac Jones when he's called upon to carry this offense like he was not last year.
The best thing about Marcus is you never have to wonder where he stands. So that's what he thinks. Diana, what do you think?
Well, I think a lot of the Mac Jones success story that we talk about here on the show is because we compared him to the other rookies, and he was that much better. And I think that's probably why we give him the benefit of the doubt there and why we talk so highly about him. But, Mike, I've been covering the Patriots for a long time now, and I've never been part of covering an off-season like this, where it just doesn't feel like the Patriot way. It doesn't feel organized. It doesn't seem like they have a plan. And look, maybe the mastermind Bill Belichick wants us to all believe in this chaos and wants other teams and other coaches, because I've had conversations with other teams about the New England Patriots, like, what do you think about them? And they all say the same thing, like, what is going on up there? They haven't figured it out yet. And I appreciate Mac Jones being the leader of the team, saying we've ironed it out and all that. He's saying all the right things. He's a great kid. You ironed it out in a couple